In modern global politics, few leaders have shaped their country's direction as strongly and as controversially as Benjamin Netanyahu. Supporters view him as a protector of national security and a strategic statesman. Critics argue his leadership has deepened political divisions. For decades, Netanyahu has stood at the center of Israel's political landscape. This is the story of his rise, his power, and the legacy he continues to build. Benjamin Netanyahu was born on October 21, 1949, in the city of Tel Aviv. He grew up in a family deeply connected to intellectual and political life. His father, Benjamin Netanyahu, was a respected historian and Zionist thinker whose ideas influenced Benjamin from an early age. During his childhood, Netanyahu spent part of his life in the United States, exposing him to Western culture and politics. Later, he attended the prestigious Massachusetts Institute of Technology, where he studied architecture and management. But before entering politics, Netanyahu would first experience something that would shape his worldview even more deeply: military service. Netanyahu served in Sayeret Matkal, Israel's elite special forces unit, known for high-risk operations. The experience exposed him to the realities of conflict and national security challenges facing Israel. Like many Israeli leaders before him, military service helped shape his political outlook and leadership style. After completing his service, Netanyahu returned to the United States to continue his studies, and later entered the world of diplomacy. Netanyahu first gained international recognition when he served as Israel's ambassador to the United Nations during the 1980s. Fluent in English and confident in front of cameras, he quickly became known as a powerful communicator on the global stage. Returning to Israel, Netanyahu joined the conservative political party Likud. Within a few years, his popularity inside the party grew rapidly. By the early 1990s, he had emerged as one of Israel's most prominent political figures. In 1996, Benjamin Netanyahu achieved a historic milestone. At just 46 years old, he became the youngest prime minister in Israel's history. His leadership emphasized national security, economic reforms, and a cautious approach toward peace negotiations. After losing power in 1999, many believed his political career might fade. But Netanyahu's story was far from over. A decade later, he returned to power and would eventually become Israel's longest-serving prime minister. During his years in power, Netanyahu built relationships with major global leaders, including Barack Obama and Donald Trump. His government played a role in historic diplomatic developments across the Middle East. One of the most significant was the signing of the Abraham Accords, agreements that normalized relations between Israel and several Arab nations. Supporters viewed these developments as major diplomatic achievements. Despite his political successes, Netanyahu's leadership has also been surrounded by controversy. He has faced corruption investigations and legal battles that have dominated Israeli headlines. At the same time, political reforms proposed by his government triggered large-scale protests across Israel. These events revealed deep divisions within Israeli society, divisions that continue to shape the country's political future. After decades in politics, Benjamin Netanyahu remains one of the most influential figures in Israel's modern history. To supporters, he is a determined leader who strengthened Israel's security and global standing. To critics, he represents a period of deep political polarization. But regardless of perspective, Netanyahu's impact on Israel and on global politics is undeniable. Leadership in politics is rarely simple. It is shaped by conflict, decisions, and the judgment of history. For Benjamin Netanyahu, the story is still unfolding, and the final chapter of his legacy has yet to be written.